get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear. This week, Brian may be making changes and Laney get loud. This show is sponsored by Pedaltrain. More about them in a little bit. Now, let's kick off this week's most exciting guitar gear releases with something special and red. It's a red special. In February this year, Brian May attended the grand opening of the GIBSON Garage, GIBSON Garage, UK, in London, where he was, quite frankly, a surprising addition to the lineup and apparently a new member of the GIBSON family. It gets weirder because now Brian has just confirmed that the GIBSON Custom Shop / Murphy Lab will recreate the red special guitar that he is so famous for building with his father. Now, this GIBSON model is, I don't think, anywhere near ready to purchase and has only really just been confirmed, which, actually thinking about it in guitar terms, they could have already built them all last year. I might take that back because they might be out sooner than I think. But there's some obvious questions. How much would it cost? How authentic would it be? And when will it be available? Nobody knows, but my guess would be between 10 and 15k. Very similar to Brian's old lady, but with a GIBSON logo on the headstock. Weird. And my guess is sometime next year at the earliest. And my guess is sometime next year at the earliest. I find this quite a strange move from Brian, considering that Brian May Guitars exists, and I see nothing but good stuff for GIBSON on their end of this. So, you know how GIBSON go around collecting classic guitar artists from the past so that their CEO can have another photo opportunity. But does this mean that GIBSON will then own the shape of the red special and then start sending cease and desist letters to luthiers around the world that have been creating red special copies for years, quite successfully? I certainly hope not. I don't actually think that Brian May will sell the shape to GIBSON, but if GIBSON have any fraction of ownership, I think there's going to be less red special boutique guitars out there in the future, which is a darn shame. What would be interesting is if they are planning to release an Epiphone version of it at some point down the line. And if so, what happens to Brian May Guitars? The company, that is. Time will tell. Number 4 is Powers Guitars, which is the company and guitars that are designed and built by the Taylor's guitar legend, Andy Powers. Well, not just built by him, you know, there's other people on the team, but regardless, it's Andy Powers' brainchild. Their A-type model has been available in the US for quite a while now, but as of this week, they're now available in the UK and I would assume Europe also. I know this because I stopped by Guitar in Camden this week and I played one, and it's a really fun guitar. One of those guitars where you think, I know this is going to be expensive and it's worth every penny, and then you carefully put it back in the case. The one I played was one of the hardtail models, and it wasn't really like anything else I've ever played, except it's kind of reminiscent of a super light Teisco and low output pickups like a sort of Teisco, but imagine that with some of the best craftsmanship that you've ever seen on a guitar, and you're getting almost close to the Powers guitars. The Powers Electric A-Type features a hollow ash body with a solid maple top, making it super lightweight. It has a one-piece mahogany neck with an asymmetrical profile and a Honduran rosewood fingerboard. These guitars are 24 7/8 scale length, which is so weird only Andy Powers can do that. And they come with a choice of 2 pickups. You've got the FF42, which apparently are for warm, high-fidelity sounds, or the PF42, which are for brighter, punchier sounds. The very funny thing is that it's available in over 70 finishes. Over 70, I think either 73 or 74. And they're polished or satin, which includes Blue Lagoon, which is the one that I played, and Signal Red, which is possibly the one that I'd like to own. Everything on the A-Type is custom built, from the knobs to the pickups to the hardware, and they're inspired by surfboards and things like that, because not only is Andy Powers a guitar building genius, he can also play like a mofo, and he surfs as well, because he has apparently somewhere between 30 and 100 hours per day. Back to the guitars. If you're looking for something super different, well built to ludicrous levels, but pretty expensive, then you should definitely take a look at the A-Type. How expensive? Around 4,000 notes. Links in the video description. Before we get to number 3 on the list, it's now time to talk about this week's sponsor, Pedaltrain. I've been using Pedaltrain boards for about as long as I can remember. This is the Metro 20 that you see mostly in my videos. And this is the Classic Junior, which you don't always see, but it is always also in my videos. However, did you know that Pedaltrain have a new series out called the XD series? The new XD series has 6 rails, meaning you can go up to 3 pedals deep. There's the Pedaltrain XD18 that comes with either a soft case or a tour case. Or if you need even more space, there's the XD24, which also comes with a soft case or a tour case. Being Pedaltrain, they are virtually indestructible. I know because I've tested some recently. So whether you're putting together a small flyboard or you have enough pedals to power the Starship Enterprise, check out the Pedaltrain XD series at pedaltrain.com or use the link in the video description and have the same pedal board as me. On with the show! This is the part where I say, if you're enjoying this weekly show, consider that subscribe button and maybe give a thumbs up so that more people get to see it in the future. If you don't like the show, give it a double thumbs down to really show YouTube how much you dislike it. Thank you! Crazy Tube Circuits are back with the UNOBTANIUM Raw, which is not a wrestling event, but a dual section pedal and amp in a box. This is a limited edition version of the UNOBTANIUM, which is absolutely fantastic. I reviewed this pedal a while ago. I loved it, and it stays... Well, it's actually not in there because it's on one of my pedal boards. The UNOBTANIUM Raw is still a clon-style overdrive into 2 Dumble-style amps. But this one features new old-stock Mullard Valvo OC45 germanium transistors for enhanced gain and sustain. It also retains the passive effects loop for putting pedals in between the clon and the Dumble, and I have one of those here too. I've played it, I've reviewed it, but I've not yet released the video, so be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to check out my review on the UNOBTANIUM Raw. I recommend you do, of course. The UNOBTANIUM Raw is going to be produced in limited quantities, although I don't know how limited, and they're limited due to the components used. So if you're looking for glassy clean tones or punchy overdriven bluesy rock tones, honestly, you can't go wrong. Oh, that was a nice slip. You can't go wrong with the UNOBTANIUM. But if you want to get the UNOBTANIUM Raw, this one's just a little bit more special. And special comes with a price, of course, and that price is just over 300 notes. In at number 2 is a guitar that I would like to own, but probably won't for reasons. Squier have released more Fender Special Run models, and this time it's 2 sparkly Jaguars. They're coming in at around 450 notes, and I'm a little bit sad because I know that I won't get one of these because it makes no sense for me to, but I still love them. Coming in at around 450 notes is the Squier Limited Edition Classic Vibe 70s Jaguar in gold sparkle and blue sparkle. They even have matching headstocks, for goodness sake, Andrew. Both models feature a poplar body, a maple neck, and an Indian laurel fretboard, which is 9.5-inch radius. They're equipped with Fender-designed Alnico single-coil pickups, and they include a 6-saddle vintage-style bridge with a floating tremolo, so pretty much standard classic vibe Squier Jaguar specs, except for the finishes, which are gorgeous. And I'm gonna make this pretty simple. If you're interested in, offsets and you like sparkly finishes, then chances are you watch 60 Cycle Hum. So when you do, please say hello to Ryan and Steve and tell them that I miss them very much And also, this guitar is going to be right up your alley. The Squier Classic Vibes series of guitars is genuinely one of the best things to happen to electric guitars ever. And if I wasn't already drowning in bits of wood and strings and metal that I've recently acquired, then I would definitely be picking up one of these. But never say never, and let's see what happens in the future. Even though they are limited edition, maybe they're so special that most people don't like them, so, you know, shops start selling them off at 200 euros and I'll just have to then. Anyway, my only problem is that I do prefer the gold one moment, and then I do prefer the blue the other moment. And looking at them, I'm like, so I can't really decide which one I would go for if I did go for one. What would you do? Let me know in the comments. Comments. Andy's Pick of the Week. My pick of the week is from Laney, because they have released a new amplifier in a pedal format. This, sound effects, is the Laney IRONHEART Loud Pedal, which is handcrafted in the Laney UK workshop, Black Country Customs. Ooh, there it is, written on the back. It's got 2 independent channels and a 60-watt power output. There's dynamic gain switching, plus a reverb and foot switchable boost. It's been designed in close collaboration with Martin Miller and Tom Quayle, and there are some sort of special edition ones, I think. I've only got this one, and I'm making both this video and the video about this before they've been officially released. So clearly, I have one here and I've tried it. With this pedalboard amp, Laney is adding to those gig solutions in a portable format, but this can also be used in front of your existing amplifier as a clean boost or as a distortion pedal. But I think most of us would be buying this to use it directly into a cab as an amplifier. However, the IRONHEART Loud Pedal can also be used for silent performance or silent recording, as it has 2 onboard IR cab emulations from Laney, and yes, you can also add your own IRs using the software that Laney provide, and you can connect this to a computer with a USB-C connection. Woohoo! Modern times in the present. Yeah, that USB-C connection is also an audio interface, so you can record directly from this without needing something else to plug into your computer. Good times. I do think the naming can be a little bit confusing because of the Laney IRONHEART Loud Pedal Foundry series, which is similar to this, but not the same. Now, of course, I go far more in depth in my dedicated review of this pedal amp. Pedal. You can watch that review by clicking the card up there, but let it be known that this is a whole lot of guitar rig, and it's built in the UK, which means the asking price of £399, and whatever that is wherever you live, seems expensive at first, but then reasonable for a British-built amp pedal with multiple features. Pair this with a multi-effects, and off to the gig you go. Thank you to the wonderful people that support this show on Patreon. Their names are on screen now. Hello. Also to the lovely ones showing their support right here on YouTube. They are members of the channel and their names are coming up on the screen now. If you would like your name up in lights, then click the join button right here on YouTube or visit my Patreon link in the video description. Thank you very much for supporting the show. And here's a special thanks to the top tier members, which I will try to do in one breath. Josh Tamberg, Sarang Narayan, Southern Panda 33, Andrew Morgan, Dustin Bonney, Gary O'Neill, Doug Paget, Alinta Boston, Boom Shakalaka, Dirk. This prank is officially sponsored by Jason Welch, Buzzle, Michael Lerner, Buddha Blue, Hugh G. Rection, Pops Place, April Kurtz, Johnny McBadminton. Thank you, top tier members. Also, I met Gary on the weekend or whatever it was last week. Hi, Gary. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the food and the drink that you bought, which was unnecessary and above and beyond, and I truly appreciate it. Now, go and grab your pedals and put them on a Pedaltrain board, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye! Still here. I'll just stand over here for a bit until the video ends. Random whistling.